So this is another in the series of one-on-one videos. In the first group of videos, we created some geometry, and now what we're going to do is talk about surface matching and boundary conditions. So surface matching is something that's done to match up different thermal zones together, and in this case we only have one. So what I'm going to do here is just first of all, we don't need our adjacent buildings right now, so I'm going to make another zone. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this now because um, we can cover this more later. I just need something to connect together. So I have two zones. Now I can copy that over and have four zones. So right now we have a rendering mode. We're in render by class. Uh, Roof is a class, walls class, um, the door and the windows are classes. We have a render by boundary condition. This lets us know for each surface what is outside of that surface. Right now, um, oops, wrong button here. Everything looks like outside except for the bottom, which is ground. And this is kind of the default you would see for a typical zone when you create it. And we want to change that. And actually, let's make four more copies of these up higher so we can get a second floor. Whoops, we didn't grab them all. Okay, so there we go. Now we have an 8-zone building. And again, everything here still shows outside. So we need to do something to let Energy Plus know that these surfaces need to talk to each other and these ones in here need to talk to each other. And so what we have is a surface matching tool. Okay, so this allows us to match surfaces across the entire model or just a selection. And there's sometimes we want to actually unmatch. So I'm going to match the entire model. It doesn't look like anything happened until I actually go into one of these zones here. And now it's changed these to green instead of blue. And if I go into my object information window for that, it now shows the outside boundary condition as surface, and it actually has identified the name of the surface, which is the surface in this zone over here that it's connected to. And it's gone ahead and changed the construction from exterior wall to interior wall. So this is the construction that we're going to talk about. That's definitely really important to how Energy Plus works because it determines the ways in which heat transfer through those zones and through the individual surfaces. So anyway, the bottom is still set to ground. Those are the basic three outside conditions you normally see. However, you can do some other things. If I change the wind or sun exposure, I also get unique colors for any combination of those. Normally your outside surfaces though would be wind or sun exposed, but there are some exceptions that you might not want to do that. And we can set some other boundary conditions, and I'm not going to lead in that way, but I can set for adiabatic, or I can set zone as a unique one. We're not going to use that often. And then you can set some special ones for different kinds of ground conditions or unique conditions. And there's a palette of colors that explains what all of these are, but I'm going to switch this back to outdoors. So that is the basics of surface matching, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about constructions in the next video.